It baffles me how many people watch Avengers Infinity War and actually think Thanos was right. I see these debates all over the internet where people defend this genocidal maniac like he's some misunderstood genius. Oh, but the universe's resources are finite. He had no other choice but to do the snap. Are we watching the same movie? Because his entire plan falls under the most basic scrutiny. So today I'm breaking it all down. We're going to dismantle every single argument in Thanos' favor using logic, reason, and maybe just a little bit of righteous anger. Now, Thanos declares himself the only one who understands the universe's finite nature.
Don't know that!
I'm the only one who knows that.
This is a lie, a universal one for that matter. But let's unpack what such a statement would entail. For him to confidently assert that the universe's resources are finite, he would have to possess exhaustive knowledge of every corner of the universe, every star system, every galaxy, and every uncharted pocket of space. First, let's consider the scale. If we were to assume that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is as large as our universe, it means the observable universe, the part we can see, has a radius of 46.5 billion light years. Now, if the universe were an ever-expanding sphere, its circumference could be a staggering 292 billion light years. That's the distance you'd have to travel just to complete a single lap around the edge of what's visible to us. But here's the catch: the universe isn't static. As earlier mentioned, it's growing, and very fast for that matter. Every second, galaxies, planets, and star systems are being flung further apart like dots on the surface of a balloon as it's inflated. This means that by the time Thanos completes his first lap, the universe would have expanded even further, stretching those 292 billion light years into an even more mind-boggling distance. Now let's go one step further. To determine if resources are finite, you wouldn't just circle the universe like some cosmic marathon runner. You'd have to stop, explore every planet, star, and galaxy. You'd need to check every corner, every asteroid belt, every uncharted nebula, and somehow account for all the galaxies forming as the universe expands. Let's just think this through logically. First, you'd need infinite fuel to travel these impossible distances. That alone debunks Thanos' argument about finite resources because, well, where is he getting his infinite fuel from? Second, you would need infinite time, which he clearly doesn't have even with near immortality. Third, you would need to overcome the fact that the universe's expansion is accelerating, meaning regions of the universe are moving away faster than the speed of light itself. You wouldn't just be chasing an ever-expanding sphere, you'd be chasing one that is outrunning you. It's the ultimate paradox. Thanos' mission to explore the universe to justify his claim of finite resources would require resources so vast and boundless that they invalidate his entire premise. But let's put it in another way. Thanos isn't just attempting the impossible, he's attempting the contradictory. Imagine trying to measure the water in an ocean, only to discover that every bucket you scoop out is replaced tenfold before you finish. Even in a universe full of superheroes, hyper-advanced technology, and cosmic relics, his task doesn't just border on absurdity, it dives headfirst into it. And this is where the brilliance, or rather, the fallacy of his reasoning collapses. They claim that he has enough knowledge to decide the fate of the universe is as hollow as the logic is based on. To declare the universe's resources finite, he would need to have explored a sphere so vast and dynamic that even the most advanced civilization in fiction cannot fathom. It's a mission doomed to fail before it even begins. Thanos may consider himself a universal savior, but in reality, he's nothing more than a cosmic gambler. Wait, I think a cosmic liar is a better term, basing his genocidal crusade on an assumption that's unproven as it is impossible. But if this argument isn't enough, then this next one will surely convince you.
Too many mouths, not enough to go around.
Thanos claimed his homeworld Titan perished because its population outgrew its resources. He also declared that the universe's resources are finite. But what resources is he referring to? Food, water, energy, space. The term resources is so vague that it becomes meaningless without specifics. But here's the truth. Resources are not inherently finite. They are only as limited as our ability to acquire and manage them. For example, when humanity faced food shortages, we developed innovations like crop rotation and high-yield farming. When fossil fuels began depleting, societies turned to renewable energy sources like solar and wind. Scarcity has always been a challenge we overcome through ingenuity, not a reason to give up. Thanos, however, reduces the complexity of resource management to a one-size-fits-all solution: genocide. He assumes the problem lies in population size, not in the systems managing resources. He never provides any evidence to support this assumption. The Titan lack innovation. This is likely not the case because his ship and fleet have very advanced technology, meaning interstellar travel was never an issue and could have been a solution they could have explored. So the only other possibility is corruption or mismanagement. Even if we accept Thanos' claim that Titan fell due to overpopulation, extrapolating that one failure to justify universal genocide is absurd. Civilizations are not monolithic. Planets, ecosystems, and societies vary greatly, each with unique challenges and solutions. On Earth, when we run out of food, we develop better farming techniques. When energy shortages loomed, we explored renewables. What works or fails on one planet cannot be applied universally. Thanos' ideology is in many ways eerily reminiscent of Thomas Malthus' theory from the late 1700s. Malthus predicted that the population growth would outpace food production, leading to inevitable famine and societal collapse. His solution: population control, limiting growth to avoid resource depletion.
Funny you should say that, because I was looking through some old photos and it looks very, similar.
But here is the problem. Both Thanos and Malthus fundamentally misunderstood the nature of resources. Resources aren't static, they are dynamic. Scarcity isn't a death sentence, it's a challenge we overcome through innovation. Take Malthus' doomsday prediction. He believed the world would starve as populations grew. Instead, we develop innovations like crop rotation, synthetic fertilizers, high-yield farming techniques, and even lab-grown meat. Today, food production can outpace population growth in most regions, not because we limited people, but because we redefined what was possible. Thanos makes the same error, but on a cosmic scale. Both reduce the complexity of resource management to a one-size-fits-all solution. But this ignores the most valuable resources in the universe: time and life itself. Time is the most valuable resource. Civilizations aren't static. They grow, they adapt, and they innovate when given enough time. Take for example, look at Earth. When human population soared in the 18th and 19th centuries, people didn't panic and decide to kill half the population. They adapted. The Industrial Revolution increased productivity. The Green Revolution in the 20th century solved food shortages by introducing modern agricultural techniques. Given time, civilizations find solutions to even the most pressing problems. If Thanos truly wanted to help the universe, he would have just focused on buying civilizations more time, maybe by creating sustainable technologies, expanding habitable planets, or stabilizing existing ecosystems. Instead, he imposed his will with no regard for natural progression of societies. Thanos' plan wasn't just cruel, it was stupidly arbitrary. He wiped out half of all life completely at random. That means he didn't just erase those consuming resources, he erased the people who produced them and those who could innovate to solve the scarcity issue. Think of the scientists, engineers, and farmers who could have been among the half wiped out. What if the person about to discover a renewable energy source, cure a major disease, or develop space colonization technology was snapped away? Thanos didn't stabilize the universe, he set it back centuries by killing the very people who drive progress. By halving the population, he didn't just reduce consumption, he upended entire systems. Ecosystems, for example, are finely balanced. Remove a single species and you risk collapse. Now imagine erasing half of all life across the universe. How many ecosystems will be thrown into chaos because key species like the pollinators, the predators, the prey were wiped out? Thanos didn't save the universe, he destabled it. The same applies to economies. Societies depend on a delicate balance of labor and resources. Farmers grow food, engineers maintain infrastructure, doctors provide care, and so on. Wipe out half of these people randomly, and you are not solving a resource crisis. You are creating an even bigger one. Who's left to rebuild after the snap? Who ensures that the survivors have food, water, and functioning systems? This brings me to the final nail in Thanos' coffin. Life is also a very, very valuable resource. He and Malthus see life as a burden, something that consumes resources and creates problems. But life doesn't just consume, it creates. Humanity's greatest achievements, medicine, technology, art, exist because people work together to solve problems. Every civilization in the galaxy, if given the chance, will develop its own solutions to scarcity. Instead of allowing that process to unfold, Thanos imposed his own twisted sense of balance, destroying the potential for progress. And here's a thought experiment. Let's say Thanos did temporarily solve resource scarcity. What happens when populations inevitably rebound? Life expands to fill the available space. It's the nature of existence. Thanos' plan wasn't a solution. It was a reset button that doomed the universe to repeat the same cycle. In conclusion, Thanos was not right. He wasn't a hero, and he wasn't a misunderstood genius. He was a lazy, short-sighted dictator who couldn't see beyond the simplest, most violent solution to a complex problem. So the next time someone tells you Thanos was right, you can share this video to them, or you can ask them this: right about what exactly? Because once you dig into his plan, it becomes painfully clear that it wasn't just morally wrong, it was catastrophically illogical. That's just my opinion anyways.